Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having an awesome week so far. In this class, everybody, we are going to be looking at IELTS Speaking Part 1. And the topic for today will be animals, which is obviously one of those topics that can be quite popular because all people are familiar with animals. They are an important part of our lives. Everything from house pets, cats and dogs, to wild animals that we might see in zoos or in nature. Animals surround us and take part in our lives. So everybody should be able to contribute and talk about it. Welcome Fuang, Andrew, Lemia, Masnate, Requiem. Nice to see many of our members in the class. Nilafar, Anaskson, Kalwinder, Riyadh. Good to see all of you. Riyadh, I saw earlier that you mentioned there was an accident there. Hopefully everybody's okay. Students, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there for general IELTS. Check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that are basically the textbooks for these live classes. So if you're enjoying these live classes, I highly recommend going to these websites, checking them out, taking a moment and joining the premium package. You do that by clicking this big red button that's just above my head there. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, doesn't cost a lot of money, and you will have all of the tools to help you prepare for your next IELTS test. We are an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent, so you are in excellent hands with us. Pooja, if you're having trouble paying for a premium membership, there are different ways that you can do it with Google Pay, through PayPal. Just send us an email and we can help you. All you do is you click the Join Now button and you fill out this form. You can enter the code SKILL9, SKILL9, to get a 10% discount that's coming from our most recent video release that I will talk about in just a moment. And yeah, it's for those of you who are having trouble with your credit card. You might have to set it to international payments, and you can also pay with PayPal or with Google Pay. So you can do that. All right, students, for general IELTS students, it's gieltshelp.com. Same idea. It's the big red button there, again, just above my head. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Students, there are apps that also link to these websites. You can use those. Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. Search for those in your app stores. They've both got lots and lots of downloads, so you'll be able to find them. You can check us out on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help. That's where we have schedules, daily vocabulary, free content for you as well. And if you have questions, send me an email. My email is adrian@aehelp.com and admin@aehelp.com. Amazon has our books, exam books, if you like paper books. Try to save the trees. I always recommend going digital if you can. But if you like those paper books, you can get them from Amazon. AE Helps Academic IELTS and GE Helps General IELTS. Search for those. All right, everybody. Fauksha's asking, what time is it there? It is 7 o'clock in the morning where I am in Fauksha. It's very, very early. It's 7 o'clock on Thursday morning. I am far to the west. Even according to Canada, I'm in their most western time zone, 3 hours from Toronto. Okay. Today, tomorrow, Saturday, we've got lots of classes. Hopefully my voice will cooperate. As you can hear, my voice is still a little bit off, but much better than it was over the last couple of days. Certainly I feel it's good enough for today's speaking part 1 class that we're doing. Then tomorrow we will have task 2 for members. listening part 1 and part 2 for subscribers, and then we'll have speaking part 2 and part 3 on Saturday. So definitely participate in those classes. And we have a new release for you on YouTube. Check that out. I'll put that into the chat. There you go. So we always have these new videos coming on the channel. So definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell button, get notifications. So you're getting all of the videos to help you prepare for your IELTS exam, at least from our YouTube channel. All right, students, IELTS speaking part 1. So the IELTS exam. What's my first and biggest tip, everybody? I usually remind people of this, and I want you to tell me, I want to make sure that you're remembering what I'm saying, that you're picking up what I'm putting down. I want to make sure that you are picking up what I am putting down. This means I want to make sure that you understand and learn what I tell you. It's an idiom. Okay, this is speaking, so speak and repeat. I want to make sure that you are picking up what I'm putting down. So what's the first and most important tip to remember when you go to your IELTS exam, everybody? What should you do when you go to your IELTS exam? What's the most important? Mal says, speak English the whole day until you take the test. Yes, we can take that, Mal. Absolutely. And Chayani says, arrive early. Yes, we'll combine those two, Chayani and Mal. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So, very important tip. On the day of your exam, use English. Only arrive 1 hour early to the test and practice with another candidate. Absolutely. Take some questions with you. Find another candidate. Say, hi, are you here for the IELTS exam? Yes, I am. And I'm super excited about it. Are you? Yes, I am. And I have some questions for us to practice. Do you want to do it? Oh, that's fantastic. I was hoping somebody would ask me this, and I'm ready to do it. Let's find a quiet space. I've got my cup of coffee, and I'm ready to practice and get all warmed up. You're awesome. Let's do this. I'm the examiner, you're the student, and then we'll switch. Wow, you've got this figured out. We're going to ace this test. Right? Maybe with a little bit more anxiety, but that's the idea, okay? You might think, hey, that's funny. I wish it were like that. No, it is like that. You can make it like that. It's up to you, okay? It's all in here. It's all in here, all right? This is where all the magic happens. We are awesome when it comes to thinking and using our brains. That is by far our superior ability in the animal kingdom, okay? So it's all there. All right. Anaxon says, okay, sir, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, everybody, so IELTS speaking part 1, and then you're feeling good. You're feeling confident. Your tongue is moving in English. Your brain is moving in English, and you're good. You're like, okay, I'm good. I feel good about this, right? You go and register 20 minutes before you're speaking. You go into a room. There's some people helping there. Somebody's going to take your picture. They're going to look at your passport. They're going to ask you to take off your super smartwatch and remove your phone, any other device that you have. You have your pencil or your pen. You have maybe an eraser. You have a bottle of water. And that's it. No labels on it. And then after 20 minutes, you go in. Make sure to use English the whole time, okay? All right, everybody. So then the examiner meets you and greets you, and they say, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. The test has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. I'm recording this for marking purposes. This is Exam Center YQ978. The exam is being held in Vancouver. The time right now is 19 o'clock. This is candidate number 789543319, examiner number 98772. Let's begin. May I see your identification? Now, in this time, when the examiner is saying all of these instructions, don't just be like, okay, I'm getting ready here. Wow, what an interesting color that wall is. I wonder who painted the wall. Oh, there's a TV behind the examiner. No, don't do that. Okay, so focus. This is tip 2. Let's just make it tip 2. During the 20-minute wait time, and when the examiner is giving you instructions, recall your most important strategies, which are speak in full sentences right away. Okay, I'm glad I got a good laugh out of Syed. Syed's like, that's just funny. But people do it. People get in there and they get all nervous and they're like, and then the examiner's like, may I see your identification? Sure. No. Okay, so when the examiner says, may I see your identification, you should already have that rolling in your head and be like, yes, certainly. Here's my passport. I just used it to register and I'm happy to show it to you again. There you are. Please have a look at my credentials. Okay, so you're rolling with it. You're rolling with it. All right, so during that time, think about your key strategies. So speak in full sentences. Give an answer plus an explanation plus an example oftentimes. Use numbers. Use quantitative language for clear communication. Quantitative language isn't always numbers, so just so that we're clear on that, for those of you who are in my classes regularly, you know that quantitative language usually means numbers. Like, for instance, my school is quite close to my home. It's about 2 kilometers away, roughly 10 minutes on foot. Some pretty fast walking. It's not always numbers, though. It's not always like 10 kilometers or 5 hours. It can also be other words like 2 months, for example, or on the weekends on Saturday and Sunday. That's also quantitative language, right? So use those numbers, okay, to help your explanation, everybody. All right, and then the examiner begins. And the examiner says, may I see your identification? Give me some sentences, students, how to answer this question fluently. Okay. Uma, I can see that you have an answer for us. Uma says, yes, sure. Here's my passport that I used to register for the exam a couple of weeks ago. Please have a look. It's always okay. Comma comes after the last letter. Sure, that works. Yuma. So, yes, sure, here's my passport that I used to register for the exam a couple of weeks ago. Please have a look. Iron Man. Nice to have Tony Stark here with us today. Here's Iron Man. Says, sure, here is my passport, which I have used for registration last month. Please have a look. Awesome. It's another way to say it. Yeah. Okay. An accent says, yes, sure. Here's my passport, which I used to register a couple of weeks before this exam. Here you are. Another great way. All right, students, lots of ways to say it. So practice saying it different ways. Be natural. Okay. It's good to show a bit of fluency, grammar, vocabulary right from the beginning. Don't overdo it. Don't be like, yes, sure, here's my passport. Look at my credentials. There you will see my name. I'm happy to show you my ID. I also used this 20 minutes ago, as well as for, online registration when I was. So don't do that. Like, don't get all wacky, okay? Just one nice fluent sentence, all right? The idea is to have a good conversation. That's how you get a band 9, okay? Good, solid, clear, polite, professional conversation. That's what you're doing, showing your best English. All right, Next question. What is your full name? Again, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. We have somebody who is anonymous, but not for long because they're giving us their name, which is fantastic. Anonymous says, my first name is Shaktiman and my surname is Gogole. Please call me Shakti. Okay, Shakti. Obviously, Shakti is short for Shaktiman, right? You're taking the man off the end of your name. So it's nice and natural to say, please call me Shakti for short. Okay? And it sounds like you're probably using that all the time, so you can say it's what I'm used to. Okay? In the real world, this would be a very natural way to introduce yourself to a stranger when you are called Shakti and your name is Shaktiman. You would say, my first name is Shaktiman and my surname is Gogole. Please call me Shakti for short. It's what I'm used to being called. Okay. All right. Tiger is dead. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we can save them still. I have faith. All right. Tiger is dead says, my family name is Adhikari and my given name is Balaram. Please call me by my given name, Balaram. Yeah, sure. That works. You can just say, please call me Balaram because you already said it's your given name, right? So let's not repeat. You really want to avoid repetition, especially when it's just redundant, like it's completely unnecessary. You've said my family name is Adhikari and my given name is Balaram, so you don't need to say call me by my given name. It's not bad, but it's unnecessary, so just be concise. When you're really going for those high band scores, band 8, band 9, you want to be concise. Please call me Balaram. Okay. All right. Aksmad, cheering it up for Uzbekistan. Welcome, Sarah. Good. What you're working. That's great. Making some money is good, Sarah. So no need to apologize for that. I'm happy to have you in the class. Sarah is our chat moderator, by the way, everybody. If you have questions, Sarah is here to help you. All right. So next question. Here the examiner might say something like, for part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. What did you do yesterday? Okay. What did you do yesterday? Give me a nice full sentence for this one. Use the question, students. So start it with yesterday. It's nice to do it that way. Like the examiner says, what did you do yesterday? And then you start with yesterday I, right? Like yesterday. I did a fair bit of studying for this IELTS exam. Finally, when my brain was exhausted at around 7 p.m. I had a big supper, watched a TV series, and then I hit the hay to get a good night's rest. There's an example answer, all right? Nice, natural, in context. Little bit of idiomatic language for you there. This would be a band 9 level answer, especially with good fluency, good pronunciation. So just repeat after me, okay? Question and answer. Repeat after me. What did you do yesterday? Yesterday, I did a fair bit of studying for this IELTS exam. Finally, when my brain was exhausted at around 7 p.m., I had a big supper, watched a TV series, and then I hit the hay to get a good night's rest. Hit the hay means to go to bed. Okay, idioms are good, but only if they are used naturally and in context. Okay, you cannot force them, all right? Hit the hay means go to bed. All right? Okay. Andrew has this answer for us. Well, I woke up around 7 a.m., packed my belongings, and rushed to the train to get to the city in time. I arrived at Berlin at about 12 p.m. and then took the subway to my hotel. Yeah, in preparation for today's test. Then I did a bit of light study and hit the hay. I got it in there one more time. All right, Andrew. Yeah, that looks good. I would kind of wrap it up a little bit more, but I know that you're limited in the space in the chat, so you probably run out of space there. All right, it's good. It's a good answer. Hikmatillo. By the way, students, if I don't enlarge these texts, because I usually do, can you still see them okay if I'm not enlarging them? Especially for those of you who are mobile users, can you see them all right if I'm not enlarging them? I'm sure you can see them better when I enlarge them, but I'm just trying to maximize our use of time. So if I don't need to upscale the font size, then I'm not going to bother with that. All right, let me know. Okay, Lamia says, yes, we can. All right, okay, then I won't bother changing the size, okay? All right, good. So Hikmatillo says, yesterday, I unwounded myself with a great soccer game on my phone and reviewed my notes for this upcoming exam to make sure that I had everything in mind. Hikmatillo and everybody out there, what is an awkward mistake with this? So what is a mistake that will cost you band scores, Hikmatillo here? Yesterday, I unwounded myself. There's a mistake there. What is it? If you're going to use an idiom, you have to make sure you use it correctly. Otherwise, your band score will literally just go and implode. Okay, Hadith and Mal says unwinded. Yeah, exactly, because Harsh says that's an irregular verb. It's unwound. Okay? Unwound is the past of unwind. It's an irregular. Okay? I unwound myself. All right, so careful with that. Make sure you don't make strange mistakes, especially early on. It's hard to recover from that. Okay? All right, so here's my original sentence again. Yesterday, I did a fair bit of studying for this IELTS exam. Finally, when my brain was exhausted at around 7 p.m., I had a big supper, watched a TV series, then I hit the hay to get a good night's rest. Now, the examiner might ask, did you do anything to relax? Okay. It's a conversation. Make connections, go into details. Okay, this is another big tip. Okay, so for high band scores, let's say 7 to 9, okay, have a connected, good conversation. And here's one way to do it. Well, as I had mentioned, I watched a couple hours of TV. I watched my favorite new show on Netflix called That 90s Show. Which is about a group of teenagers living in the 90s. And I watched it in English, of course, with a smile. Okay, so connected, right? I mentioned just a moment ago that after I was exhausted from all the studying, I watched a bit of TV. So why not expand on that, okay? Going into that kind of detail, lets the examiner know that you're natural, you're you, and that you're able to hold a conversation, not just randomly think about answers or give information, okay? So here we go. Did you do anything to relax? Well, as I had mentioned, I watched a couple hours of TV. I watched my favorite new show on Netflix called That 90s Show, which is about a group of teenagers living in the 90s, and I watched it in English. Uma says, yeah, as I previously said, I watched a film while having my dinner, and I also had a nap before I hit the hay. Interesting, Uma. You had a nap before you went to bed? That's a little bit awkward, I'll be honest with you. But it's good. Okay. All right. And then the examiner says, let's talk about animals. When the examiner introduces this, your brain should immediately start referencing information, common information around animals and you. Now, what kind of ideas come to mind when you think about animals and yourself? Okay? So, what comes to mind? If I introduce this topic to you, let's talk about animals. There should be some ideas that come to you right away. What kind of ideas? Okay, pet, Ruckway, absolutely, like my pet. Pets, my pets, especially. Okay, what else? All right. Yeah, going to the zoo. What else? Okay. Hunting in the environment. Sure. Yeah, domestic animals. Farm animals. If you maybe take care of some farm animals, absolutely. What else? Wildlife. How about nature shows? Documentaries. Okay. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Aquatic animals, seeing animals in the water, right? Fish, they're animals. Another way to say that is sea creatures, right? Okay. All right. So we've got a good list here. And all of these and all of the images associated with these should be coming to mind. Okay. So it's a solid list there. Keep those in mind as we go through these questions, okay? All right, first question. So let's talk about animals. Now again, speak and repeat, students. We will be practicing talking to each other shortly, where I will reach out to some students using our website, okay? So let's get into it. Give me some nice full sentence answers. Remember, give me an explanation, give me an example. Here we go. What is your favorite type of animal and why? Okay. All right. Let's take Ali's answer. Okay. Ali says, well, to be leveling with you, I am not an animal person, but I'm into dogs an awful lot. I am not one for keeping them, but I'm keen on feeding them and taking care of them. This is a band 4 to 5 answer. Because, okay, awkward mistakes, awkward use of language, and confusing information. Okay. Now, I'm not being harsh here, Ali. I'm just giving it to you exactly like what the examiner is thinking. There's no subjective opinion here. It's all objective, okay? Correct expression is to level with you. However, this is an unnecessary expression in this case. A native speaker would not use it in this context. Okay. Next big mistake is, it is strange to tell me that you do not like animals, but then tell me that you really like dogs that are animals. Okay. Here's an important tip, everybody. Do not kill the conversation before it starts. Okay? We're all into animals. Ali, if you're a vegetarian, I will believe you even more. But if you eat animals, if you eat chicken, for example, then I have a hard time believing that you're not into animals. Maybe not as pets, maybe not as visiting the zoo every day, but if you enjoy having steak or fried chicken, then you definitely are into animals, because if nothing else, you eat them, right? So don't kill conversation, students. That's a really bad idea, okay, in the IELTS exam, all right? If you kill the conversation before it starts, you're going to make it very hard to get a good band score. All right, so you want to make sure you're using questions and expressions and idioms correctly, and you want to make sure that you stay on the positive side of questions. Okay. All right. Let's see. Here's another answer to this question. Vyas says, I'm really fond of visiting places where I get a chance to catch a sight of elephants because it's one of the most peaceful and intelligent beings to exist. Occasionally, I even read articles on them. Okay, so I'm guessing your favorite animal is elephants, right? The mistake with this one, Vyas, this is about a band 7 as far as content goes. So the content's a bit better than the previous, but it's still off topic. Really fond of visiting places is incorrect, because we're not talking about places, right? We're talking about your favorite animal. So you should just start with saying, I love elephants. Okay. And then let's fix the plural. Okay, so I love elephants because they are. You use the plural for elephants, right? So you have to use a plural here. They are the most peaceful and intelligent beings, and you're using plural here again, right? So don't have a plural singular mismatch. That's awkward in English, okay? I love elephants because they are the most peaceful and intelligent beings to exist. They mourn the death of their loved ones and can remember acts of kindness their entire lives. Occasionally, I even read articles on them. I just read the other day about a man who lived with a herd of elephants for 30 years. Okay, so that's a band 7 to a band 9 upgrade. All right. So again, repeat after me, students. What is your favorite type of animal? I love elephants because they are the most peaceful and intelligent beings to exist. They mourn the death of their loved ones and can remember acts of kindness their entire lives. Occasionally, I even read articles on them. I just read the other day about a man who lived with a herd of elephants for 30 years. All right. There's some other really good answers out there. People love dogs. Becruz loves horses. Tamur is also a big fan of horses. Babita also likes elephants. Yes. Okay. And Ajiu is a cat person. If you really like cats, you can say, I'm a cat person. That's a common expression in English. I am a cat person. I love felines. They are so cute and cuddly. I have a cat named Stripes. He is 12 years old and he is family. All right. Felines, I never spell that correctly. Somebody will spell that correctly. Feline is the cat family. So I'm a cat person. I love felines. They are so cute and cuddly. I have a cat named Stripes. He's 12 years old and he is family. All right, there you go for those cat lovers out there. And one of those cat lovers can tell me how felines like that. Okay, got it. Thank you, Mal. Okay, so you can be a cat person or you can be a dog person. You can't really be an elephant person, so careful with that. I'm a cat person. I'm a dog person. Don't say I'm an elephant person, okay? That sounds weird. Some expressions in English only work in very specific ways, so you have to be really, really careful. If you're not sure, check with a native speaker, okay? You can say that you're a cat person, you can say that you're a dog person, but you can't say it for any other animal. If you say I'm a fish person, it's kind of like, what? Like you're a fish person? So I'm a cat person, I'm a dog person only, okay? You can't say I'm a monkey person. An accent, okay? All right. Okay, everybody. Great, let's keep moving. Next question. Do you have any pets? All right. Who did I just make up? I just made up my cat, right? And my cat was what, Stripes or something? What did I call him just now? Short-term memory loss. Okay. Yeah, Stripes. All right. Aside from Stripes, I also have a fish tank with some goldfish, and my sister has a hamster named Lily. So we definitely keep busy with our lovable little creatures at home. There you go. All right, Requiem has a pet named Ruby. Requiem says, yes, I have a pet named Ruby since my childhood. He is very cute and cuddly. What is Ruby? Ruby a dog or a cat? Requiem? Make sure you give clear information. Yes, I have a pet named Ruby. She is an adorable Persian cat that I have had since my childhood. He is very cute and cuddly, right? Much better. All right. This is Rishabh. Rishabh says, I have a dog and a lion at my home that I usually play, or whom I usually play and go outside with. All right. Fernando says, I haven't any pets till now, as my parents are strict about this matter. They think animals are dirty and bring bad hygiene to the home. All right. Farnaz, you have to be a little bit careful. Use good English. Let me copy this one here if you don't have a pet. Okay. So, Farnaz says, I haven't had you have a pet. I haven't had any pets. Use until. Till is a colloquial, and we use it in speaking sometimes, but not always. So I haven't had any pets until now, as my parents are strict. Instead of restrictive, we would naturally say strict about this matter, comma, they think animals are dirty and should not be kept in a home. Okay? And maybe you want to finish this by saying something like, nevertheless, I do dream of owning a dog one day when I have my own place. Okay? So, Farnaz, it sounds like you like animals. Make sure you finish off that sentence. Don't expect the examiner to know what you know. Okay? So, I haven't had any pets until now, as my parents are strict about this matter. They think animals are dirty and should not be kept in a home. Nevertheless, I do dream of owning a dog one day when I have my own place. Okay? All right? A little bit clearer, a little bit better. Okay, next question, students. Why is it good to keep pets? All right, why is it good to keep pets? What do you think? This is where you might use a leading expression like, that's a really good question. Okay, so these kinds of expressions like, that's a really good question, or that's an interesting question, you have to use them correctly. Again, just like idioms, and you have to use them correctly in the correct context, okay? Keeping pets is debatable. Some people think it's a good idea to keep pets. Some people argue it's a bad idea to keep pets. So when the examiner asks you a debatable question, that's when you can say that's a really good question, or that's an interesting question, okay? Make sure to use these correctly in context, okay? So tip, you must use expressions and leading sentences correctly in natural ways. Okay? It's very important. So that's a really good question. You should use that only when it is a really good question. Okay? Like if I ask you, what is your name? And you go, that's a really good question. I'll be like, really? I don't know that, right? So careful where you use these kinds of expressions or leading statements, okay? All right, so this is well used when the question is debatable, okay? That's a really good question, all right? All right, Timur says, because I think pets are beneficial to our house. They are really loyal. Timur, you need to organize that into a more complete idea, okay? Olha says, I believe it's good to keep pets because they definitely create a loving atmosphere. They wait for us when we get back from home and love unconditionally, okay? So I think it is really good to have pets, especially a dog, because they can create a lot of happy moments and a loving atmosphere. They love unconditionally and are extremely loyal. Pets help to relieve stress and take the owner's mind off the everyday grind. I forget about all of my daily troubles as soon as Stripes jumps into my lap for a good pet. Okay, so here is my answer. All right, repeat after me. That's a really good question. I think it is good to have pets, especially a dog, because they can create a lot of happy moments and a loving atmosphere. They love unconditionally and are extremely loyal. Pets help to relieve stress and take the owner's mind off the everyday grind. I forget about all of my daily troubles as soon as Stripes jumps into my lap for a good pet. A pet refers to the pet itself, like the dog or the cat, and the pet also means to stroke the dog or the cat. So if you have a dog and you're stroking the dog, you're petting the dog, okay? So when you are stroking the dog, you are petting the dog, okay? So keep that in mind. When you're stroking the dog, you are petting the dog, okay? In some languages, the word petting has been translated into a sexual connotation, and that's different. In English, we don't use it that way, okay? We don't use petting for another person, okay? And keep that in mind. It's a weird one. I learned this in my worldly travels. In English, we do not use the word petting for humans, okay? In some cultures, you might hear it that way, which is very strange, and it has a very different meaning that you'll discover. But in English, we don't use it that way. We use it only for pets. We pet the pet, okay? All right. Students, these questions and the ones that are remaining, we're going to practice them through volunteering. I'm going to actually talk to some of you right now. And there's a very special way to do this using our website, okay? At the start of the lesson, I introduced the website aehelp.com. This is the website we use for these live classes. You can use gieltshelp.com as well. You can log in through either one of those websites and volunteer to speak with other students and to speak with me. Sarah probably already knows, but the question I've got coming at you is, can you please post the instructions in the chat? So go to aehelp.com, students. This is gieltshelp.com. You can also use gieltshelp.com. Right now, we're going to use aehelp.com. Again, to join the premium IELTS package, you simply click this big red button that's just above my head there. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. And then you click the Join Now button, okay, to join the premium package. Or you can also do this for free by clicking the green button that's just kind of behind me there. Once you have done that, you go to your My Student account. It will auto-log you in the first time. And then you have your computer-based practice exams. You have lesson videos for strategies. You have a interactive course. You have audio CDs. You've got a lot of goodies. What we're using right now is over here. Okay, it's the student partner speaking that's just right above my head there. Click on that student partner speaking, accept that you are polite, you're 18 years old, you can be responsible for your actions, and then you get into this page here where you already see many students in here. You will see me as master, okay? And then when you see my handle, just send me a message. Click on the blue envelope beside my name and just write, hi, I would like to try, or I want to volunteer, and then we'll get going, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna put my headphones on. If you can, students, I recommend using a Wi-Fi connection, high-speed internet for sure, especially if you're using YouTube at the same time. Some of you might need a VPN, okay? And then we'll connect. So let's start with Anakshan. I don't know if we've talked before. So Anakshan, sure, are you ready? Okay, and then what I will do is I will ask some questions, give you some feedback, give you some tips on how to improve. Pay attention to each other, students. A lot of the mistakes are very similar among IELTS candidates. So whatever tips, strategies I'm sharing with a volunteer is often very applicable to many viewers, okay? All right, and try to make corrections. So peer review, right? Here we go. Anakshan. All right. Ring, ring, Anas. If you're there, pick up. All right, Anas, I'm not sure what's going on. I was calling you there. I'm not sure if you didn't hear that ringing. Check your microphone settings. Let's try Fuang. Fuang, are you ready? Fuang is one of our regular students and also a member of the channel. Excuse me. Here we go. All right, Fuang, if you're there, let me know. Yes, okay. Hi, Fuang.
Hi, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
And you're enjoying the Chinese New Year? I remember you were celebrating Chinese New Year last time we had a discussion, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And it's the year of the rabbit now, is it not?
No, in Vietnam, it's the year of the cat.
Year of the cat. All right. Interesting. Okay, Fuang, are you ready? We're talking about animals, right? There's an interesting adaptation of animals. So, are you ready for some questions on animals?
I'm ready, sir.
Okay, then here we go. Let's talk about animals. What is your favorite type of animal and why?
Well, I'm an animal lover, so I really love the animal with fur. But if I had to choose, my most favorite type animal would absolutely be a dog. The truth is that they're not only loyal companions to humans, but they also seem to understand human language by the way they interact with them and try to respond in their own way.
Do you have any pets?
Oh yes, back in the day when I was in primary school, my family had a veggie with black fur since I was best friend actually, and my parents consider her a member in our family.
Why is it good to keep pets?
It is vital to keep pets like dogs and cats in human home. Human is because humans can avoid being stressed and prevent themselves from many mental disorders by interacting with their pets at least 15 minutes per day.
Okay, I'm going to stop there for a second and give you some feedback. So that would be about a band 7 long. So it's good English, all right? There's a couple of mistakes. So the first answer when I asked you about your favorite pet, you said you love all animals, especially animals with fur. And if you had to choose one, it would be the dog because the dog is loyal. That was a very good answer. So if I looked at just that answer, it would be like a band 8. Okay, that was very clear, very accurate, good amount of description and detail. The next question, if I looked at that one only, I would give you a band 6. Why do you think? What's the big difference? So here, the question was, do you have any pets? And you said, oh yes, back in the day we had a dog, I think you said. And you said my parents considered her a member of the family. What's the big mistake here, Fuang?
I think I said we instead of I, sir.
That wasn't actually the big mistake. That's not so bad in this case. There's something else happening here that's off. You should recognize it. Really pay attention to the question. Do you have any pets? There's a couple people in the chat really trying to help you out.
The tense.
Yeah, that's right. So the question, is it present or past?
Present.
Right. So in the IELTS, you have to be very careful about this, everybody. And it's not just Fuang. A lot of people tend to make this mistake where it's because of our thoughts, right? Like you remember your pet that you loved and you forget about the fact that I'm not asking you about did you have pets in the past, but I'm asking you right now. So here you want to start a little bit differently. You want to say something like, unfortunately, not at the moment. And then you can say, but back in the day. And then you can mention your pet like that. Okay, if you really want to mention your pet. And then it's okay. Then you can get a good band score. But if you talk about a pet that you had in the past, that tense mismatch will definitely lower your score for that question. Okay, Fuang? So try this one more time. Do you have any pets?
Unfortunately, not at the moment. But back in the day, we had veggies with black fur, and my parents consider her a member of our family.
Okay, much better, right? So that's a lot clearer in the actual conversation that we're having. Okay, Fuang? So pay attention to those tenses. There's so much information to pay attention to, and part of that in the IELTS, and this is good information for everybody to know, part of that in the IELTS happens not just because of English, but because we don't actually practice structured, accurate communication in everyday life. So in everyday life, we actually communicate in our own language incorrectly often because we don't focus on like, oh, okay, was it present or past, right? And we have time to clarify. But in the IELTS, you have to really just practice that professional communication. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Fuang, thank you for being my first volunteer this week. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Okay, thank you, sir. I hope your voice will be better.
Thank you. Yes, it should. I'm doing everything I can. All right, bye, Fuang. We'll talk again soon.
Bye bye, sir.
All right, that was Fuang. Let's give Fuang a thumbs up. She kicked off this week's volunteering, talking about her love of furry pets. Okay, let's try somebody. Let's jump to the bottom of the list. Let's take Requiem. We haven't heard from her in a while. Requiem is a premium student and a member of our channel. Requiem, are you ready? Okay, we've got lots of time, everybody, so I'll take a good number of volunteers today and give you some good feedback. You notice that I'm not focusing on the introductory questions at this moment. I'm just really getting into these questions about animals. I want to practice more specific questions today with more of you. So let's do it.
Hi, sir.
How are you, Requiem?
I am fine. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. My voice is slowly starting to cooperate, as you can hear. All right, Requiem, are you ready to talk a little bit about animals?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, then let's talk about animals. Why is it good to keep pets?
I think it is good because keeping pets are really helpful to spend times with them because when we are alone and feeling lonely, so it is helpful for mind rest, and also it is good for our security because as dogs they are very loyal and they are very friendly.
Are there any animals that you're scared of?
Mm, I have to think. I think it's a snake because, as I know, it's poisonous and dangerous to our life. So I am scared to it, and I try to very careful about that to not go in touch with snakes.
Okay, I think I caught most of that. All right, I'm going to focus on those two questions, Requiem, to give you some feedback, okay?
Okay.
First of all, your band score, a solid 6.5. You're very fluent and your language is between fluent and good. Okay. And
Okay.
in order to make it good, or even between good and very good, you have to really correct some of your awkward use of language and grammar.
Okay.
So I can understand what you say, Requiem, quite clearly, but it's off English, which means it's not the way you would hear an English speaker use these words. Let me show you specifically, okay? So I said, why is it good to keep
Okay.
pets? You said, I think it is good because keeping pets are really helpful to spend times with them. Are really helpful to spend times with them is awkward English, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Um, how could you say that in a little bit more natural way? Can you try to rephrase that, Raquea?
Because they are very friendly
Yeah,
and
so simplifying.
loyal.
Yeah, so you can simplify it. So I think it is good because keeping pets are a good way. Let me try to fix this in a natural way. Keeping pets are a, good way to spend quality time together with them. So I think it is good because keeping pets are a good way to spend quality time with them since they are I'm still trying to figure out how to say this naturally, Rick, where you're gonna have to give me a second. So I think it is good because keeping pets are a good way to spend quality time without, okay, let's do it this way, quality time without feeling lonely. Okay, and you kind of said that later, so we want to make this more concise. They help us rest our mind. Okay, so you really want to just practice a lot of natural English, Raquea. Copy and mirror a lot of natural English, okay? They help us rest our mind, and dogs are even good for our security. And then there you have to give a bit more explanation because they can bark and warn us of danger. Okay, so repeat this sentence after me. I'm going to say it one more time. Again, this is for everybody. So you want to do this kind of feedback and correction at home when you're preparing for the IELTS. So here we go. Why is it good to keep pets? I think it is good because keeping pets are a good way to spend quality time without feeling lonely. They help us rest our mind. And dogs are even good for our security because they can bark and warn us of danger. Go ahead, Raquea.
Okay. I think it is good because keeping pets are a good way to spend quality time with feeling lonely. They help us rest of our mind. And dogs are even good for our security because they can bark and warn up for danger
Yes, without feeling lonely, right?
without feeling lonely.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. Now, the next one I asked you is, are there any animals that you're scared of? Now, here, Raquea did something really well, everybody. So, Raquea said, I have to think. So, Raquea didn't just go, okay, I'm scared of mice, right? But you actually thought of an animal that you're scared of. And you said, I think it's a snake because, as I know, snakes are poisonous. It's not as you know. Snakes are poisonous. There are lots of poisonous snakes, right? So you just want to be really direct. So yeah, I think it's snakes because they are poisonous and can be deadly. And then you said, so I try to discard it and be very careful about that, not to go in touch with snakes. So this is really awkward English again here. It makes sense, Raquea, but it's awkward. You need one verb here that's very accurate. So what should you say? Instead of saying discard it and be very careful about that, not to go in touch with snakes, can you say that in a more natural way? So I try to...
I try to far away.
No, starts with an A, V. the first two letters of this word. Simple verb.
Avoid, avoid.
That's right. So I try to avoid them and stay away from places where they may live. Okay? All right? So that's
Okay.
the natural way to say it. So again, you want to avoid those awkward phrases and find the correct word, okay? So just
Okay.
repeat after me. I'm scared of snakes because they are poisonous and dangerous for our lives, so I try to avoid them.
I try to. Sorry. I think it's a snake because they are poisonous and dangerous of life. So I try to avoid them and uh, far from them.
Stay away from places where they live.
Stay away from places there where they live.
Stay away from their habitats.
Stay away from their habitats.
Okay, so Raquel, natural English, okay? One other way that you can
Okay.
improve your natural English, everybody, is through lots of reading, lots and lots of reading in English, aloud reading and reading, and that will shape your English into a more natural form of English. Okay, Raquel? All right.
Yes.
Keep up the good practice, Raquel.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, I have done my first attempt in 29th of January and I got my result.
Okay, sure.
Uh,
Do share.
but I got overall 6 and all three modules 6 and only listening 6.5. So I want to improve my band 7 or maybe overall 6.5. So how can I achieve this?
At least 2 to 3 hours of studying English every single day. Okay. Lots of reading, lots of speaking, and lots of feedback. So get lots of feedback on what you're doing. Identify your mistakes, correct your mistakes, learn them, and move on. Make sure that you're using the course every single day. Make sure that you're interacting with students through the website every single day. Okay, I see that you have the premium access. So watch those videos, watch those lessons, spend at least an hour to 90 minutes on the course each day, and use English at least 2 to 3 hours each day, every chance you get. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Okay, Raquel, bye for now. Yeah, so band 6 to 7 students, okay, it's not a small jump. It's a pretty good jump. So you have to really just practice lots, okay? All right, let's try Virgo. I'm not sure if Virgo has ever had a chance to interact. So Virgo, are you there? And for those of you students who don't have access to the premium course, I believe there's a button just right up there that you can click on that you will see. I'm in a premium version, so that's why I don't see it. But if you're not premium, then you should see it there. Okay, Virgo, here we go. Hi, Virgo.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
All right, Virgo. Is this the first time that we're chatting?
No, actually, I have a time to speak with you. I had
Okay.
a time.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Good, good, good. And you're back for more. Virgo, can you tell everybody where you are?
Actually, my full name is Nguyễn Thị Thu Trang, and I come from Vietnam. But
Okay.
my nickname is Video.
Okay. All right, we'll go with your nickname, Virgo. So you're in Vietnam. Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions about animals. Are you ready?
Yes,
All right, here we go. Which is the most unique animal in your country?
I think in my country a lot of animals that are unusual. But I think the the most unique animal in my country is dogs because they are very intelligent. They can find a way to come back to the owner's house as a person.
So I think dogs are very unusual, and and I don't think that aren't they are in in inferior inferior to humans.
Have you ever seen an elephant?
No, I haven't, because I haven't ever I have never gone to the rules, so I can't see anything. And nowadays, I live in a village, and because of industrialization, so I don't have any time uh, to uh, uh, to see see a wild animals like my grandparents in the past.
Okay, I'll stop there and give you some feedback. All right, so that would be about a band 5.5 to 6, okay? You're definitely close to fluent. I'd be kind of inching towards saying that you got a 6 there. You answered very confidently, so you understood the questions. Which is the most unique animal in your country? When they ask you country, say your country. So I think in Vietnam, right? So don't just say in my country, but just say in Vietnam. There are lots of animals that are unusual, but I think the most unique animal is the dog. Because of their intelligence, they can find their way back to a person, and they're exceptionally unique. All right, sure. I'm not going to judge you. Maybe there's some really unique dogs in Vietnam. That's possible. That was okay. I would probably pick a different animal if you can think of the name of a different animal. But if you can't, then that was very smart. Just pick one that you're familiar with and say that it's unique. Maybe it's a special kind of dog if you know what type of dog it is, right? Like in Japan, they have the Akita, I think that's a unique type of dog. Okay, and then here I asked you, have you ever seen an elephant? And you did something really well here. You used the present perfect. So you realized that, okay, that's present perfect. Have you ever seen? So you said, no, I haven't. Because I haven't ever gone to a zoo. So here you want to use the singular. I haven't gone to a zoo. So I haven't seen an elephant. You have to stay with the present perfect here. I haven't seen an elephant. Nowadays, I live in a village which is very industrialized, I think you said. So I don't have time to see wild animals like my grandparents in the past. Okay, that got a little bit tricky. I think you were telling me like there isn't as much nature, but you want to keep it simple. Now, here's an interesting thought as well. I guess you probably have seen an elephant, just not in real life. Like you've seen an elephant on TV, right? Or in books. Have you seen
Oh,
an elephant on TV or in
yes,
books?
yes, of course, but
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay. That's not, you're probably going, well, that's probably not what the examiner is asking me about, right? And that's fine, but you can use that to create some simple natural fluency, right? So you can say, no, I haven't seen an elephant in real life. And then you can say, because I haven't ever gone to a zoo. But I have seen, you could say, but I have seen an elephant on TV and in books and magazines. Okay, so you could say that. It's fine. And then you're creating more language. Always try to think about the positive. And this is a really important tip for everybody. So think about the positive possibilities for your answers, okay? Just repeat this sentence after me, okay? So, no, I haven't seen an elephant in real life because I haven't ever gone to a zoo and they're not native to Vietnam, but I have seen an elephant on TV and in books and magazines.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen an elephant in real life because I haven't ever gone to a zoo because uh, elephants are not native in Vietnam. But I haven't seen an elephant on television and in books and magazines. Nowadays, I live in a village with a very industrial life, so I don't have time to see wild animals like my grandparents in the past.
Okay, good. All right, so good repetition, and you remembered some of the key words there that I just said and didn't write down. Excellent. So that's what you want to practice, okay? So always think about the positive possibility and keep doing what you're doing. I think you have a lot of good English going on in your head. Just use it as much as possible, okay, Virgo? All right, Virgo, can you still hear me there? Kind of. We've got a fair bit of static, so I think that's a little bit tricky. Virgo, if you can hear me, then have a lovely rest of your day, and let's talk again soon. Check your mic and your connection. You might be able to get rid of that static a little bit on your end. Bye, Virgo.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah, I think she was having a little bit of trouble hearing me maybe at the end there. All right, let's jump to somebody else. Let's jump to Bipin. Bipin says, let's do it. Are you ready, Bipin? If you're there, Bipin, let me know. I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing your chat interactions because I think you might have copy pasted or repeated the same statement and the chat doesn't like that, but let's see. Bipin, if you're there, give me a life sign. Say yes, I'm ready, I'm waiting. Give you a couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1. No? All right. We've got lots of people in here. Let's try Amit. I want to encourage people who might be lower down on the list. Amit, are you ready? If you're there, let me know. Lots of people in here. Again, make sure you have a good connection, everybody. Try the system with another student to make sure it's working for you. Okay. A lot of different devices, operating systems, internet connections. Hi, Amit.
Hello.
How are you?
Sir, I'm good. And how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Amit, can you tell the world where you are currently?
Yes, sir. Sir, basically, I am from India. I'm living in a center of India called as a Nagpur city.
Okay. Is it a big city?
No, not big than other metropolitan city.
Okay. Why are you taking the IELTS?
Sir, I'm taking this IELTS for do my master's in Canada
All
in
right.
hospitality management.
Hospitality management. Awesome. So, are you looking to work in a restaurant or a hotel in the future, or a bit of both?
Yes, sir. This is my short-term goal, but my long-term goal is to open a beautiful restaurant in my city.
That is exciting. What kind of cuisine are you planning to have?
Sir, it is a traditional cuisine.
Did I lose you there, Amit, suddenly? Oh no, did we get disconnected from Amit? Amit, something might have happened on your end. It sounds like you're still...
Oh,
Yep, there you are.
hello.
Yep. Yes, you're still there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm looking to open a, like traditional cuisine of India, like where you have to come and sit on the floor and eat food. Like I'm not going to, people are not going to sit on a table or a chair.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I had that experience when I lived in Japan, sitting on tatamis. So that sounds exciting, Amit. Hopefully one day I will have a chance to visit your restaurant. It sounds like you've got a good plan, and I think you'll get there. All right, Amit, let me ask you a couple of questions about animals. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here we go. Which is the most unique animal in your country?
In my country, the most unique animal is leopard, which is very rare in whole country. Like in last few decades, the leopard are very rare in all over the country, but in India, it is very common.
Have you ever seen an elephant?
Yes, I have seen animal last month. Actually, I went to a park with my family. It is a Tadoba park. I seen three elephant.
If you could choose to be an animal, what would it be and why?
If I would choose, I will definitely choose a dog because like dog because they are very calm and it is like a family member. Like uh, my friend have a dog, so I decided to buy a puppy of Libra next month.
If you could choose to be an animal, what would it be and why?
Oh, if I would choose to be an animal, then I will definitely choose a dog. And because they are very sharp and very attractive as well.
Okay, that is the end of part one. All right, interesting. I thought you misunderstood me, but I guess not. Like you would actually be a dog if you could choose to be an animal. Okay, it wasn't absolutely clear for me the first time you answered, but then you clarified it, so that was okay. That was good. And I really liked how you used the condition on both cases. So if I would choose to be an animal, I would definitely choose to be a dog. When you started your explanation and then you gave me the example of your friend owning a dog, I thought that maybe you were thinking like if you could own an animal, what would it be? But then I realized that, okay, no, you actually would choose to be a dog the second time that I asked it. So it was fine. It was good. If the examiner repeats the same question, okay, the reason they're doing that is because you're probably off topic or they think you're off topic. So you have to make it clear for them that you understood the question, and you did that really well. Okay, so that was very good. Your band score would be about a band 6 at the moment. You're fluent, but you need to show more fluency and a bit more accuracy to get into those higher band scores, okay?
Yes,
So when I said, have you seen an elephant? You said, yes, I had seen animal last month. Yes, I had seen this animal last month. But instead of this animal, I would actually name the animal. And especially I meant because you're in India, and as people know, there are two kind of main subspecies of elephants, right? What are those two subspecies of elephants, Amit?
Uh, one is a male and other one is their puppy.
No. It would be the
Oh,
calf, not the puppy. It's called the calf, the baby elephant. But no, I'm thinking of the subspecies. So the two most common types of elephant in the world are...
I
There's
don't know,
one.
sir.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Amit. I bet you somebody in the chat's going to help you out. One's got a small ear, the other one's got a big ear. The small ear one
Oh,
is... Andrew, I think, in the chat is trying to help you out there. One is named after your country, Amit. It's the Indian elephant. It's literally called the Indian elephant. And the other one is the African elephant, okay? The African elephant is a bit bigger. The Indian elephant is a bit smaller. And the Indian elephant can be found in several countries, not just India. It can also be even found in Thailand. And the big difference between them is that the Indian elephant has a smaller ear, and the African elephant has a much bigger ear. That's the noticeable difference between them right away. Okay,
okay.
you're
Yes,
not
sir.
you didn't know this difference between the Indian and
Mm,
African elephant?
no, sir.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
no! If I were your examiner in India, I'd be a little bit surprised. I'll be honest with you. So for me, and then this is where examiners are not supposed to be biased, but it's hard to avoid that in this situation. So I would answer this question in your shoes, something like this. So yes, I have seen elephants quite a few times in my life, as they are native. So we had this before. with Virgo, where it's not native to Vietnam, but they are native to India, right? The elephant is a sacred animal in India, so most people in India are familiar with the elephants. They're very well known in the country, right? So yes, I have seen elephants quite a few times in my life as they are native to India. The Indian elephant is extremely well loved in my country. It is a sacred animal, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you can say I had seen 3 of them just a couple of weeks ago at a park near my home with my parents while we were out for a stroll. Okay, so that would be a more natural, fluent response. Let's try this. So I'm going to say this sentence and then repeat after me. And for all of those viewers out there who are from India, you should definitely be thinking in this direction. So here we go. Yes, I have seen elephants quite a few times in my life as they are native to India. The Indian elephant is very well loved in my country. It is a sacred animal. I had seen 3 of them just a couple of weeks ago at a park near my home with my parents while we were out for a stroll. Have you ever seen an
Yes.
elephant?
Yes, I have seen elephants quite a few times in my life as they are native to India. The Indian elephant is extremely well loved in my country. It is a sacred animal. I had seen 3 of them just a couple of weeks ago at a park near my home with my parents while we were out for a stroll.
All right, there you go. Okay, so that's your band 9 perfect answer, if you will. Okay. All right. If you could choose to be an animal, what would you be? So you said, if I could choose to be an animal, I would definitely choose to be a dog. Okay, and then you said because they are very loyal. Keep it first person. So keep it to yourself. So I would choose to be an animal. I would definitely choose to be a dog because that way I would be smart and loyal, and all day I would get to play and have fun and get free food. Right? Okay, so think about the good parts of being a dog, right? You get to lay around, you get to eat some free food, and people love you. All right, so let's try this one again. And repetition is not just for Amit, everybody, it's for everybody else so as well. So repeat this concept after me. You don't have to copy the same words. What's important is that you copy the context and focus on having good grammar, good vocabulary. Okay, here we go. So if I would choose to be an animal, I would definitely choose to be a dog because that way I would get to play all day, have fun, and eat free food.
Okay. If I would choose to be an animal, I would definitely choose a dog because that way I would be smart and loyal, and all day I will enjoy with them and have fun and get free food.
Yeah, don't forget about the free food, right? That's always a good one. All right. Okay, Amit. Otherwise, it was good, okay? So a little bit more fluency, a little bit more accuracy. Really think before you speak. When you're practicing at home and you say an answer, always reflect on it. So think, okay, was that the best answer? Maybe I can make this better. I mean, okay, India is famous for elephants, so there must be a little bit more than I can say here about, the elephant, right? So seeing an elephant. So really just think about it, okay? When you give your answers, and always practice upgrading your answers, all right?
Yes, sir. So I have one question.
Fire away, Amit.
Sir, like you asked me a question, what is a rare animal in your country? So I can use elephant?
I mean, elephants aren't that rare for India, right? They're quite common. So ideally, you do want to use an animal that's rare that you don't get to see often, right? So if there's some kind of animal that like a bird or a snake, but if you can't, you can say elephants. So you can say elephants are a unique animal to India. That's why there's a species called the Indian elephant, because they're found mostly in India, right? So you could, Amit, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Bye for now, Amit. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. Give a thumbs up for Amit. That was really good. Really good interaction with Amit there. Okay, everyone, I am going to stop there for today, but there's nothing stopping you from continuing with others with these questions. So stay in the student partner speaking. For those of you who enjoy this type of lesson and you want to learn more and you plan to come back, check out the premium course, okay? You click that big red button that's just above my head there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We've had a lot of great interactions. I saw a lot of our regular students volunteering as well. Dewey, Andrew, some others. So keep coming back, keep volunteering and interact with each other as well. And you will improve. Sarah, thank you so much for moderating this class. I saw that you were helping out some of our viewers today. General IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com, everybody. Click that big red button. Again, it's just a one-time payment, lifetime access. You fill out the form and you're good to go. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got task 2 writing for our members on the YouTube channel. And then we've got listening part 1 and 2 from one of our practice exams tomorrow as well. Thank you so much for sharing with me, everybody, and let's make sure that we pay special attention to all of those furry, cuddly, lovable creatures in our lives and nature around us, because we are a part of nature and we need to respect nature and love nature. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada, and I hope to see all of you tomorrow. Bye for now, everybody.